Chelsea 2-0 victory over Fulham at Stamford Bridge. But it doesn't stop there. So today we discuss about Chelsea's shock signing, Facundo Buonanotte, the latest on Fermin Lopez, and of course, 5 big things we learned from that Fulham win. But before we dive into it, you know the drills. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. But if you have been following me for a while, like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you get notified anytime we upload. Let's dive into it. So the full-time whistle goes at Stamford Bridge, and Chelsea has beaten Fulham 2-0 in what was a heated London derby, a match filled with controversy, tactical battle, and a moment that could shape the rest of our season. Let's break it all down. Starting with the lineup, Enzo Maresca went with Sanchez, Gusto, Chalobah, Tosin, Cucurella in defense, and in midfield he has Caicedo and Enzo Fernández. And in the attack, Extova William, Joao Pedro, Pedro Neto, and Leon Delap. And the big talking point even before the kickoff was Alejandro Garnacho at Stamford Bridge after selling his move to Chelsea. But within the 80 minutes came the worst possible blow. Leon Delap, the striker we have been raving about, has just come off with what looks like a hamstring injury. Absolutely devastating. Considering Jackson has left and Gui is on loan, that forced Maresca into an early change that brought on academy star Tyreek George. But before the game, the Fulham boss Marco Silva was very clear on how his side is going to approach us. We know their strengths very well. They have individual and overall quality. They have a clear identity in terms of the way Enzo Maresca wants to play, such as overloading certain areas and stretching teams. For us, it's clear what he wants in each moment of the game. And he doubled down on his confidence, saying, "We have a game plan. I prefer for us to express it in the field and not talk about it now. The last few games we played against them, our performance showed that we have things we can exploit against them." Strong words in the end, but we shut them down. Fulham actually thought they have taken the lead, but their goal was actually ruled out after a long VAR check. Stamford Bridge breathed a sigh of relief, and that decision changed the momentum. Right before the halftime, we punished them. Joao Pedro rose to the highest and met a cross and buried a header past Leno to make it 1-0. A massive goal at a massive time, and he gave us control heading into the break. Then came the big moments. Chalobah fired a shot, then blocked by Sessegnon. VAR checked and it showed a clear handball. The referee pointed to the spot, and our captain Enzo Fernández stepped up and smashed home the penalty for 2-0. Fulham tried to Larry late with Jimenez and Barge testing Sanchez, but we held strong. The clean sheet felt just as important as the win. Chelsea 2.60 to Fulham 1.24 XG. The bulk of the chances came in the second half, and the stat line shows exactly what we saw. Clinical, controlled, and patient even without hitting top gear. This win tells us a lot. Winning when we are not absolutely at our best is a great trait to have. Something title winning sides have. Of course, we don't want to rely on it too often. But under Enzo Maresca, you can see the progress. The worry against deep block at home, we still lack the extra creative midfielder. The last 2 games at Stamford Bridge have shown it. Yes, Joao Pedro is linking well, and Extova has unbelievable potential. But when teams sit back, we are crying out for one more playmaker. That has to be addressed in the market. And of course, the Delap injury is brutal. With Nicholas Jackson gone and Gui on loan, this could force the board into action. But let's take a moment and appreciate the difference makers in this match. Let's talk about Trevoh Chalobah. He dropped an 8.0 rating across the full 90 minutes. He reminded everyone exactly why he's so important to us. 1 clearance, 1 shot block, 5 tackles, 4 interception, 8 out of 9 ground duel won, 3 out of area duel won. That's dominance, that's composure, that is reliability. And honestly, the fact we even considered selling him baffles me. This guy bleeds Chelsea. He knows the club, he consistently delivers, and when we need him the most, against Fulham, he was everywhere. Stepping out of the line to intercept, covering Tosin when Fulham tried to isolate him, and winning every single Q duels. He's not flashy, doesn't make the headline, but Trevoh Chalobah is the type of player who allows the rest of the team to breathe. But now, alongside Trev, we have to give a massive credit to his partner in crime, Tosin Adarabioyo. He dropped a 7.8 rating across the full 90 minutes and put in the type of commanding defensive display that shows exactly why he's so important for us. 5 clearance, 3 interception, 0 times dribbled pass, 91 pass accuracy, 9 out of 11 area duel ones, 2 out of 4 ground duel ones. That's what you call security. That's what you call presence. Tosin gave us stability in the air, but what impressed me the most wasn't just his defending, it was his composure on the ball. A 91% pass completion rate in a derby like this is outstanding. He didn't panic under pressure, he didn't just jump it long. And let's be real, with Levi Kowe out injury, our backline has looked vulnerable at times. But Tosin stepping up like this gives us confidence. It's going to be vital for us across this season. What I love about the partnership with Chalobah is the balancing. Trevoh is aggressive, stepping out to win duels, while Tosin is calm, dominant in the air, and clean everything up behind him. Together, they have completely nullified Fulham threats. When you talk about different makers, these two at the back are the reason we kept a clean sheet and walked away with 3 points. Now, moving into the midfield, we have to start with Mr. Consistency himself, Moisés Caicedo. He dropped a 7.4 so far score rating across the full 90 minutes and once again showed why his engine that makes us tick. 86.5 pass accuracy, 6 ground duel won, 2 clearance, 11 possession won, most on the pitch, 5 interception, most on the pitch. That is elite midfield work. Every time Fulham tried to build, Caicedo was there, pressing, breaking up play, and recycling possession. He doesn't just destroy attacks, he gives us platform to build again. That's what makes him so vital under Enzo Maresca's system. And here is the crazy stat. Since the start of last season, only Elliot Anderson has won more duels in the Premier League than Caicedo. Anderson has 225, Caicedo has 254. That tells you everything about the consistency of this guy. Week in, week out, he wins battle, covers every blade of grass, and gives us control in midfield. What I love most is how reliable he is. When our structure looks shaky, when teams sit deep or try to counter, Caicedo is always there sweeping up. Against Fulham, he basically suffocated their midfield. Now, right alongside Caicedo, we have to talk about captain, Enzo Fernández. This was a game of two halves for him. In the first half, Enzo honestly struggled. His passing was crisp, he got caught into possession a couple of times, and you could see Fulham trying to press him out of the game. But then, the second half, he completely flipped the script. Grew into the game and ended up being one of the most influential players on the pitch. He finished with a 7.9 rating, and the numbers showed exactly why. 69 touches, 12 final third entries, 5 touch in the opposition box, 3 chances created, 3 crosses attempted, 3 duel wounds, 3 possession won back, 2 interception, 1 shot, 1 goal from penalty, and 1 assist. That's complete midfield play. Enzo wasn't just taking over, he was decisive. He stepped up under pressure, buried the penalty to double our lead, and then add the creativity with a passing in the final third. And his willingness to keep making those forward runs shows how Maresca wants him to operate higher up in the pitch. And when you put it in context, Enzo has 18 goal contribution across all competition in 2025. That's elite output for a midfielder. In fact, no Premier League player has provided more assists than Enzo Fernández this year. 10 assists in all competition. But now, let's talk about the man of the match, Joao Pedro. Oh my days, what have we brought here? Firstly, I would like to say a very big thank you to Brighton and Hove Albion, because Joao Pedro is looking like one of the smartest signings we have made in years. Against Fulham, he dropped an 8.1 rating, and his game by numbers are just sensational. 23 out of 26 passes completed, 7 duel won, 6 possession won back, 5 touches in the opposition box, 4 fouls won, 3 shots, 2 shots on target, 1 chance created, 1 goal. That's a complete forward performance. It wasn't just about the goal, though his header right before the halftime was absolutely crucial. It's the way he links play, the way he drags defenders around, the way he constantly asks questions of the opposition. He's physical when he needs to be, technical when he wants to be, and clinical in moments that matter. And look at the form he's in. 2 goals and 2 assists in his last 2 Premier League games. And that now 4 goal contribution in just 3 matches for Chelsea in the Premier League. He's hit the ground running, and the scary part is going to look sharper as he settles into Enzo Maresca's system. The chemistry is already building with Neto and Exova. You can see him dropping into pockets to combine, then arriving in the box at the right time. We talk about needing difference makers in the final third. Joao Pedro is that difference maker. And for a Chelsea side that have struggled in attack for years, that is priceless. Brighton developed him, we have unlocked him, and now Stamford Bridge is his stage. But now moving on to Chelsea's latest transfer update. It all started when Fabrizio dropped the bombshell. Breaking news: Xavi Simons to Tottenham, here we go. All signed between Spurs and RB Leipzig for a fee worth 60 million euros fixed after agreement reviewed last night. Xavi Simons has completed his medical and his contract is also now signed. Contract until 2030 plus 2 years option. And to make it worse, Tottenham officially confirmed it, and Xavi himself came out and said, "The noise, don't listen to it all. Only what matter. Tottenham called and I answered." That right there is pain. Deep pain. Because let's be honest, all summer long we are hearing Chelsea were in for Xavi Simons. The links, the reports, the hype, the Chelsea fans always imagining him linking up with Palmer, Joao Pedro, Enzo Fernández, we had the comps ready, the agendas ready. People were tweeting generational with clips of him at PSG and Leipzig. But then what happened? Spurs swooped in, paid the fee, and he's theirs until 2030. A proper dagger to the heart. So naturally, the fan base went into a meltdown. People felt like we have been strung along again. Another almost transfer, another case of we are interested but never moved. But then, in true Chelsea fashion, when one door closes, we find another. According to Fabrizio, breaking: Facundo Buonanotte to Chelsea, here we go. Due in place with slow move, and there is no option to buy clause included. Understand Chelsea will have a chance to match future bids and get Buonanotte if they can agree with Brighton. And then comes the detail. Chelsea will cover Facundo Buonanotte's full wage with no buy option. Brighton didn't want one. Chelsea recruitment team really believed in his potential. They also have a matching right. They can match any bid Brighton gets next summer. So basically, we didn't settle for nothing. We pivoted. And where did we go for shopping? Our favorite shop, Brighton Hove Albion. I'm listening. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. This is the first time I've sat down and looked at Facundo Buonanotte. I literally had to go and learn how to pronounce his name. But word's on the street is that he's good. He was on loan at Leicester City last season, played 35 matches, scored 6 goals, registered 3 assists, and crucially, 5 of those goals came in the Premier League. For a young player, these are respectable numbers. He showed flashes of creativity. He's got that Argentine flair, and at just 20, there's a lot of upside. But why many of us were scratching our heads? But when you actually break it down, you see why Chelsea recruitment team rates him so high. But of course, this is where the banter comes in. Brighton again. From Caicedo to Cucurella, to Sanchez, to even Joao Pedro. It feels like Chelsea are addicted to Brighton's shop. Anytime we need a player, it's like we have got the club's card ready to swipe. And let's be fair, not all Brighton signing has been flawless. Robert Sanchez hasn't really convinced anyone, but Cucurella, he turned into one of the most important pieces. Caicedo, one of the best young midfielders in the world right now. And this is the same Brighton that even found Mitoma McAllister. And of course, turned Buonanotte into a player Leicester City wanted as a starter. So maybe, just maybe, there is something in this partnership that works. And honestly, this Buonanotte move has given me flashback to summer of 2023. Remember when we chased Olise all summer? Talks advanced and only for him to join Bayern Munich. Chelsea fans were fuming and it felt like another miss. And then boom, out of nowhere, we signed Cole Palmer from Manchester City. And now he turned out one of our best signings in the league, our best player of the season, and arguably the future of Chelsea Football Club. So when I look at Buonanotte, I ask myself, could this be another Palmer situation? Maybe not as explosive straight away, but someone who can come in under the radar, end up being a gem. Now I know what people will say. The sporting directors don't know what they are doing. We have got no plans, but to be fair, they have shown us both sides of the coin. Yes, they missed targets. Yes, the negotiation dragged on. But they also pulled off Cole Palmer. They secured Caicedo when Liverpool tried to hijack. They have made bold calls on players like William Extoval and even Andre Santos. So I think they deserve some credit. I do trust there saw qualities in Buonanotte that we haven't seen yet. But at the same time, does it mean I won't question it? Of course not. We are Chelsea fans. Questioning the board is in our DNA. And at the end of the day, this Xavi Simon heartbreak hurts and there is no sugarcoating it. Watching him walk into Tottenham, of all clubs, is sickening. He would have been perfect for us. But Buonanotte, he might just remind us that sometimes the signing you don't expect might be the one that changed everything. We laughed at Palmer at first and now we sing his name every week. So I will keep an open mind. He's young, he's got talent, and he's got Chelsea behind him. But despite signing Facundo Buonanotte, Chelsea are not slowing down. We are still going full speed in the market. As David Einstein reviewed, Chelsea are evaluating a move for Barcelona Fermin Lopez and are waiting the players' approval to move forward with the deal. So that's the key here. The ball is literally on the players' court. We have made our interest. The structure of the deal is being looked at, and now it's about what Fermín López himself wants to do. Then Jacob also confirmed that Chelsea hasn't ruled out even after bringing in Buonanotte. Chelsea has not ruled out adding Fermín López even after bringing in Facundo Buonanotte's loan. As revealed, talks are centered on getting players in. Lopez has spoken to Enzo Maresca. If Lopez become open to the move, Chelsea could yet proceed. This is massive because for me, it shows Chelsea's intent. This isn't just a case of us doing one deal and calling it a day. The recruitment team clearly feels we need more creativity and more midfield quality. And then Fabrizio adds it. Chelsea and Barca are both waiting to see what Fermín López wants to do. In Spain, the media said he would release a statement on Friday, clarifying his future. but he didn't do that. Let's see what happens on Saturday. And even Barcelona themselves are in a wait-and-see mode, not just Chelsea. Both clubs are literally holding their breath for Fermin Lopez to make his decision. And the fact he's already spoken to Enzo Maresca tells us one thing. This is serious. And Maresca clearly sees him as a piece that can fit into our project. And then David Ornstein dropped another line that really caught my attention. Given Chelsea's track record in recent windows, don't rule out a concurrent deal of another creative midfield target. And that right there tells you everything about how Chelsea operates. We don't just put all our eggs in one basket. So with Buonanotte through the door, Chelsea are keeping the door open for Fermin Lopez. And despite Fermin Lopez's link, Chelsea are still going full gun blazing in this market. Because now another name has entered the conversation. Adam Wharton. As Ben Jacob and Alex Krupp reports, Chelsea has added Adam Wharton to their long list of targets. Tough deal to do before Monday, but one to watch moving forward. So straight away, this tells us two things. Number one, Chelsea aren't just stopping with Buonanotte. Number two, we're already looking at the next young English star in midfield. But Ben Jacobs has clarified the reality of the situation. Nothing yet suggests that anything advanced as Palace plan to keep hold of Wharton for at least another year. So as of right now, there is no deal happening immediately. Palace are digging their heels in, and to be fair, they should. Wharton has been one of their standout players since joining from Blackburn. He's young, composed, and fit the exact profile we have been targeting. But what this does show is intent. Serious intent. We already moved for Buonanotte, and we are still cycling around Fermin Lopez. And now we are scouting Wharton. This isn't just a scattergun approach. This is Chelsea doubling down on a very clear plan. Stacking the squad with young midfielders who can control the game, link play, and grow into the future spine of this club. We are not talking about panic buys anymore. We are talking about calculated long-term moves. And look, as fans, we have seen Adam Wharton already show what he can do in the Premier League. At just 21 years old, he looked calm under pressure, his passing range is excellent, and doesn't look phased in big games. He's the type of midfield you can build around for years. Yes, Palace want to keep him for at least another year. And yes, it's a tough deal to do before Monday. But make no mistake, Chelsea still have him on the radar. And now, away from the arrivals and targets, there is also movement on the exit side. First up, Alfie Gilchrist. Ben Jacob reports, Alfie Gilchrist is set to join West Brom on a permanent move for £2 million plus add-ons. Medical this morning. And shortly after the club made it official, Alfie Gilchrist has left Chelsea and has completed a permanent transfer to Championship club West Brom. Now Luke Gilchrist has been one of our own, a Cobham graduate, a proper academy product. But the reality is, he needed minutes. He wasn't going to get it at Chelsea, and a permanent move to West Brom gives him the platform to really build a career. For £2 million plus add-on, it's a low-risk deal and one that could benefit him long-term. The other name is Ben Chilwell. As my great review, Chelsea fullback Ben Chilwell has emerged as a potential late target for French club Strasbourg. Torino also interested in adding him as a left-back. Now this is definitely interesting because we know Strasbourg and Chelsea are under the same ownership model. So that link makes sense. But it's also important to note that as of now, this is interest, not a done deal. Chilwell has struggled with injuries. When he's fit, he's still a player of high quality and experience. And now when you look at it overall, Gilchrist's transfer is already done. And Ben Chilwell's situation is one to keep an eye on. Now here is a transfer that comes straight out of nowhere. Honestly, a few days ago, we were hearing that deal was off after issues with medical. But suddenly, Fabrizio dropped the bombshell. Giulio Enciso deal has been sealed by Bluco Group. Here we go, they agreed Brighton. Medical 100% completed as Enciso signed until 2030. Enciso joined Strasbourg immediately on a permanent deal. And just like that, it's done again. And I can't lie, this one has caught a lot of us off guard. Because the last report we saw were all negative. Talks of failed medical, the move collapsing, and most fans already written it off. But now Bluco stepped in, sorted it out, and Enciso will be playing his football at Strasbourg. And here is where things get interesting, because this is Bluco model in action. Chelsea might not be directly signing Enciso for Stamford Bridge, but Strasbourg, under the same ownership, becomes the landing spot. It's a way for the group to bring in high-selling young talents, pack them in France, and give them consistent game minutes, and then potentially profit from a further sale or integrate them into Chelsea down the line. We have seen this before. Strasbourg last year picked up young prospects, gave them a platform, and now they are even in the Conference League. So Enciso is walking into a good setup. Because whether Enciso develops at Strasbourg, and makes his jump to Chelsea, or he raises his value and brings profit back to the group. That's smart business. But wow, from there off to here we go again. This window never sleeps. So right there is the video, my friends. Hope you like it. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. It go be.